of you who don't know me, my name is Coach Taylor. For today's game, we're going to learn how to do fractions of a set. But what exactly does that mean?
When you're looking at a math question that's considered a fraction of a set, the first thing you want to notice is what they have in common. In this example, you'll notice that they are all circles, so it's the shapes that they have in common. But if you look at it again, you'll notice that something's different. Some of the circles are yellow and some of the circles are orange. This is how we get our part to whole to create the fraction. The part we are looking at here are what fraction is orange. I see 3 orange circles, so that becomes my top number. And then the bottom number is how many circles are there in all. It doesn't matter what color they are, just how many circles there are in all. There are 5 circles in all, so I put that number on the bottom of my fraction. When you're writing a fraction, remember this. It's made up of a numerator and a denominator. The numerator is the top number of your fraction. In this case, it's a 3. The denominator is the bottom number of your fraction. In this case, it's a 5. Then, when you put it all together, you make 3/5. That's how you get your fraction. Pay attention to how we say each fraction throughout the video. Many of them end in THS, just like 3/5 does. There are a few that are different. Make sure you pay attention to that, because you'll need to know not only how to write them, but also how to say them. I can also figure out what fraction of the set is yellow. My yellow becomes the part which goes on the top. So I'll put a 2 on the top because I have 2 yellow circles. The bottom number is going to stay the same because I still have 5 circles. So my final fraction is 2/5 of the circles are yellow.
Now that you know what fractions of a set means, we're ready to play ball. Are you ready to shoot for success? I know I am. Let the games begin.
Here's your first problem. What fraction of the balls are basketballs? Pause the video, write down your answer, and then again to play again to check to see if you got it right. If you wrote down the fraction 4/10, then you are correct. In this question, the first thing we had to do was we counted how many basketballs there were. In this case, we had 4, so we put 4 in the top, which is the numerator. Then we counted to see how many balls there were in all. In this case, we have 10 balls in all, so we put that on the bottom, which is the denominator. And then we double check our work to make sure we answered it correctly. What fraction of the balls are basketballs? Well, 4/10 of the balls are basketballs.
Score! Good job, everyone. You got that one right. That was worth 2 points.
Let's look at our second problem. What fraction of the shirts are shaded red? Well, what does shaded mean? Shaded just means that the shirt is colored red. Go ahead and pause the video, write down what fraction you think it represents, and then unpause the video to check your answer. Did you write down the fraction 5/3? I see 5 red shirts, so I put that number on the top, and 3 orange shirts, so I put that number on the bottom.
Let's take a look at our answer. Uh-oh. Foul! There's something wrong with this fraction. Can you figure out what's wrong?
That first fraction was just an imposter. Hopefully you got the answer that I got on this slide. The answer is 5/8. There are 5 red shirts in this set. So we put that number on the top in the numerator. Then we count how many shirts there are in all, and we see that there are 8 shirts. We put that number on the bottom in the denominator. So the fraction that we've created is 5/8. 5/8 of the shirts are red. Here's question number 3. What fraction of the basketballs are in the net? Pause the video, write your answer down, and unpause the video to check your answer. If you wrote down the fraction 2/3, then you are correct. When we're looking at the picture, we see that there are 2 balls in the net, so that number goes on the top in the numerator. Then we count how many nets there are in all. We see 3, so that number goes on the bottom in the denominator. Our final fraction is 2/3 of the balls are in the net. Did you notice that we say our fraction a little differently this time? Usually we add THS to the end of our word, but this time we don't. When you have a 3 in the denominator, you're going to call it thirds.
Bam! That was a slam dunk answer. Great job, everyone.
Here's question number 4. What fraction of the girls in this picture are on the red team? Pause the video, write down your answer, and then unpause it to check your answer. If you said that the answer is 1/2, then you are correct. When we look at the picture, the first thing we notice is that there are 2 girls playing basketball. That number goes on the bottom. The 2 goes in the denominator. Then we look to see how many girls are wearing a red shirt. In this case, there's only 1. So we put a 1 in the numerator, representing how many girls are wearing a red shirt. So our final fraction is 1/2. Notice that we don't use THS at the end of our fraction when we have a 2 in the denominator. In this case, when you have 1 over 2, it's considered 1/2.
Ready? Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8. Learning fractions is really great. Go team!
I love going to the concession stand when it's halftime to go get a snack. Today I chose to buy some M&Ms. So let's find out the fraction of the M&Ms in my box that are blue. Pause the video, write down your answer, and then unpause the video to see if you're right. If you said that the answer is 7/12, then you are correct. The first thing you do is you figure out how many blue M&Ms there are. In this case, there are 7, so we put that number on the top in the numerator. Then we count how many M&Ms there were in all. In this case, we have 12 M&Ms, so we put that on the bottom in the denominator. Finally, we created the fraction 7/12 of the M&Ms are blue. We can figure out the fraction for all of our M&Ms in the box. Let's look at red. There are 2 red M&Ms, so our fraction is 2/12. When we look at green, yellow, and orange, we notice that each of them only have 1 M&M. So the fraction is going to be the same for each. 1/12. We have 1/12 green, 1/12 orange, and 1/12 yellow. Did you notice that the bottom number or the denominator is the same in every single fraction of our M&Ms? That's because the bottom number, which is the denominator, tells us how many M&Ms there are in all. That number never changes. Well, I guess the total number of my M&Ms will change as I eat them.
It's time for your math challenge of the day. So grab a piece of paper and something to write with, and let's score big with fractions of a set.
For today's challenge, you need a few extra materials. Grab yourself a plastic cup and a piece of tape. Tape it to a table or to a chair so that it doesn't fall over when you throw the ball into it. You can also use a clean trash can. Grab yourself a ball that fits inside of the cup, and if you don't have one, grab a piece of paper and wad it up into a little ball, and you can use that as your basketball.
For today's challenge, your goal is to try to get this basketball into the hoop. You can either try to get it into your trash can, or you can try to get it in an actual basketball hoop if you have one in your backyard. Try to shoot it 12 times and see how many times you get it into the basket. And then we'll show you how to make it into a fraction. Good luck, everyone. Let's see if you can beat my score.
Now that we've observed Mrs. Taylor throwing the basketball into the basket, we're ready to take the data and put it into a table. I decided to put our names on the left-hand side so we can compare our results. In the middle, we're writing down how many times the basketball actually got into the basket. In this case, I got it in there 6 times. And then we're going to change that whole number into a fraction because we didn't make it into the basket every single time. Well, maybe you did, but I didn't. I made it into the basket 6 times, so that number goes on the top. And the bottom number should be the same for both of us because we threw the ball 12 times. I can't wait to see what results that you got. Did you get a bigger number, meaning you won? Or did you get a smaller fraction, meaning that you lost? When I read my fraction, I read it as 6/12.
I really had a ball learning about fractions of a set with you today. If you liked today's video, make sure to click the like button. And if you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single adventure. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.